Now we want to play with the idea of inner union. This is one of the most delicious work ever, and this is where you find a lot of personal power, is when you can be in harmony, which is very different from finding balance, being in harmony between your feminine and your masculine energy. I'm gonna try to make it clear, because in Tantra we use a lot those polarities, like the feminine and the masculine energy, the yin and the yang, if you like this wording better. It doesn't really matter what we call them. It's just the qualities that they have and using those qualities for our personal growth. You want to reach that point of inner union where the two are in harmony. It can dance, and literally it's like a wedding. It's like a marriage. It's like an union between your unique divine feminine and your unique divine masculine, so that they can dance together. When I talk about dancing, that's going to be part of your integration work. That's going to be part of your embodiment work. I'm going to share with you two playlists. One is for your feminine to be expressed, and the other is for your masculine to be expressed. And I want you to play with that. I want you to listen to the music and to let yourself go with the flow, and to see how your masculine would actually, again, let your body show you. How does your masculine, your divine masculine, feels in your body, and how your divine feminine feels in your body. I also want you to play with names. But before we go into that, I really want to do quite of a recap so we can understand better what we mean when we talk about those energies. So basically, your feminine energy is divided, let's say, in two categories. Like, if we really want to take this work, we need to take it to the next level. So you have your divine feminine, and you have your wounded feminine, and you have your divine masculine, and you have your wounded masculine. All those four archetypes are okay, and they all exist within you. Some of them are stronger and more present and more expressed than others, and other are maybe like more, fading away, or they're not so present, but you actually really want to tap into them. Obviously, it feels better in the body when we are in our divine feminine and divine masculine. A few misconceptions about them, or a few things you need to know, is that they have nothing to do with gender. So it's not a gender thing. If you want to remove the gender, feminine, masculine, you can use like yin and yang, and like empowered yin and disempowering yin, or vice versa. Call them however you want. Another misconception is that they need to be in perfect balance. I personally don't believe in that. I think our point through this lesson is to go towards inner union and harmony. It doesn't mean like we need to have the same amount and go from one to the other and be completely equal. It means that they are compensating each other. They are like playing with each other. There is an aspect, especially when we come to relationship, to relating with other people, and especially to romantic partnership, where there is a strength in being stronger and more expressed in one of those aspects of ourselves. It's okay to have a dominance of your feminine, or it's okay to have a dominance of your masculine, and it's completely okay if you're already pretty balanced and you feel like you can juggle from one to the other quite effortlessly. When we talk about the embodied divine feminine, express feminine, we talk about all those qualities of flow and nurturing and compassion, intuition. She's very connected to spirit. She's, the divine mother that can really take care and really have this loving, like this, this deep deep sense of love and protection for others. It's also, the very creative. Like, she creates, she actually can birth babies, but she's very creative in the way she expresses herself in her life. She's also, again, going with the flow. So there is a sense of when the masculine is more structured, and like the feminine is the river, she flows. There is this ability to adapt and to change. And there is also this aspect of sensuality. So she's very connected to her senses, to her aliveness. She's very alive. She will stop in the street and look at a flower and take time to smell it and be immersed in it. She's also, again, I said intuitive, but she's very connected to other realms. She's connected to Mother Earth as well, in tune with nature, very compassionate for all beings. That's her quality when she's really like divine, the divine expression. In the wounded expression of her, she is needy, me, she's the victim, she's dramatic, she's chaotic, she's blaming a lot, she's like not taking any ownership for what she does, she's always the victim of her circumstances, she's really stuck in victimhood and why this happened to me and poor me and blah blah blah. She is very disorganized, there's a little bit too much of her emotional body, like she'd get lost in her emotions. In her divine expression, she's like really in tune with her emotions, she feels them, she experiences them, but in her wounded expression she's overwhelmed by them and it's just this emotional chaos. And she's also very manipulative, very like sneaky and trying to, you know, have everything like controlling in that way of like getting her needs met because she doesn't know how to ask for what she wants, so she will like be sneaky and try to like, you know, be like this. In your PDF I'm gonna give you a little bit more details on that and it's gonna be clearer, but it's just to give you a sense of the energetic behind all those archetypes. On the masculine side, we have in the divine and embodied, empowered version of the masculine is really about being grounded, being firmly rooted and having like purpose and direction, you know, this penetrative force that, you know, go forwards and creates life through action, through having also like, if the feminine is a river, the masculine is the bank. I think you call that the bank of the river, so that the water doesn't spread everywhere. It gives it a direction, it gives it a container. The expression of the divine masculine is this ability to hold space for others, to bring deep grounded presence. It's actually a big turn on for me. Like I love it. I love that. And it's also this fire that, you know, move things and make things happen when, you know, the feminine can be a little dreamy, a little lost in the clouds. No, the masculine is here in the tangible reality. In his wounded expression, it's basically everything that is wrong with our society right now. It's this patriarchal force. So overthinking, overdoing, forcing, controlling, like dominating, and having this desire to force and to push and to, like, there is no sense of compassion and love. It's like do. There is no room for emotions. It's very manipulative as well, but in a way of like not being like sneaky and stuff. It's like, I'm gonna turn that into my will, like very forceful energy, very, yeah, like a tyrant. I hope that's English. Again, you're gonna have all of that in your PDF. It's just to give you a taste of that notion of the energetic behind it. We go from one to another, from one to another. Like the four of those expressions are completely valid. It's not like we're trying to remove the wounded feminine or the wounded masculine, because they exist for a reason. They exist because it's for our own protection. They help us to grow. No matter what it is, like, again, everything is welcome in this space. So I wanted to play and to give a name to those four archetypes. So my wounded feminine is Lola. So I know when Lola is acting out, I can have more compassion for myself and give her more room instead of being so hard on herself. You know, when I'm very chaotic, very in my emotions, very in like victimhood, and like I will be like, oh, okay, my wounded feminine wants to be expressed right now. Let her be. Playing with names as we did before, it really helps to just have a better understanding of those different energies and polarities, and we can then master them and play with them better. So of course, what I was saying is like, we don't reject any, but it feels better to be in the divine expression of your feminine and your masculine. And the point is then to go to inner union. So when you think about it, it's really your inner masculine that will be holding your feminine, so she can flow even better, so she can feel even better, so she can be even more in her creative power, so she can like lean on him because she's providing security, she's providing safety, she's providing a container for her expression. The other way is that love and devotion and nurturing that the feminine brings to your inner masculine, where she's so devoted to love him so deeply with and take care and nurture him and nourish him with her presence and her aliveness, and bring that joy into your your divine masculine. So it's really a dance between the two. There's gonna be some deeper work for you to explore that, just for you to get a sense of how good it feels when you reach that, when you're in commitment to your inner union. To go a little further, it's also when you can fulfill that for yourself, you will come out of all those tendencies that we have of reaching outside ourselves to fulfill something that is lacking. You know, if we have some predominant energy, some other are less predominant. So usually we try to find that in others or outside ourselves. The point is to be the provider, is to self-source, to have this feeling of sovereignty and self-sourcing. This is the best thing you can do for yourself, for your self-love and your empowerment. When you can self-source and you can be in inner union, you're not dependent on someone else. So you actually get to decide, like, let's say I want to enter a partnership with a man, I would be deciding if, you know, like I would be more deciding to be my feminine because it feels good, because I'm longing. Longing is a big part of the feminine as well. Like she wants more, she's longing, she has desires, very connected to her sensuality and sexuality and all of that. I can choose because I also know how to provide myself with my divine energy, my divine masculine energy. I'm not searching for it in someone else. And making room for the expression and tapping more and having practices that actually empower you in the energy that maybe you feel like you're lacking or that you want to invite more of it, and just practicing that is usually bring a lot of discomfort. Because if someone, let's say, is very in her feminine, very flowing, and she wants to bring more of the masculine, it's gonna require to take ownership, to be real in integrity, to be grounded, to be stillness, to meditate, to take responsibility and ownership for her feeling, for her actions, for everything that she, you know, want to flow with. It's gonna ask her to show up. That can be uncomfortable for naturally, like, comfortable. If you thrive in your feminine, like, that can be a bit uncomfortable to explore that. The reverse is the same. For someone that's always like go and very grounded, it can be very, very challenging to be like, let me go with the flow, let me loosen a little bit and let go of the rigidity and, you know, feel my aliveness and feel my emotions and actually be present to my emotions and be more compassionate, more loving, more creative. All of this can be challenging if we have a very strong predominance. Again, the point is not to make your nature disappear. It's just to explore, to bring a sense of self-sourcing, bring a sense of self-empowerment, because you can provide for yourself those two energies. And because you have a better understanding of those energies, if you have this filter to see how you act, and you have this devotion to bring about a sense of harmony during your day, during your week, during your life, between those two energies, you can see how it's playing out already and how empowering it feels. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy your integration work. It's gonna be so juicy.